Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to share a movie review with you last night. It's going to be Dawn of the Dead, but not George A. Romero's version, Zack Snyder's version. Is there a difference? Yes, there's major differences. Number one, of course, I don't like to give out a lot of spoilers, but certain things I will discuss. Number one, even though it's ostensibly based off the original movie, it's nothing like it. I'm sure you would probably, figure that out on your own even before you watched it, because who would ever want to make a complete copycat of another movie? It would be a redundancy. But getting right to the point, the Zack Snyder version of Dawn of the Dead is fantastic if you watch it and you don't think of any of the Romero movies. You think of it as just something that Zack Snyder created. And if you put the framework of your mindset in that, this is a really great movie. Number one, it starts at the onslaught of the zombie apocalypse. It gets right into it. It's like the zombie apocalypse happens overnight. The action happens right overnight. The pace of action in this movie is amazing. I'd say that a lot of movies probably couldn't brag about when it comes to pace or intensity of action. Now, with that being said, it is definitely not a horror movie. I don't care what anyone says. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is definitely not a horror movie. It is pretty much an action adventure movie with zombies in it. The character development is really good, and even though these are not like A-list actors, except for Ving Rhames is, because he was in Pulp Fiction. Ving Rhames is one of the protagonists in the movie, being he's like the leader and a policeman. He's definitely an A-lister. He's amazing, but not all of them are. But that's a good thing, because I feel that sometimes when you have A-listers, whether it's Brad Pitt or George Clooney or Meryl Streep, if you have A-listers, people tend to focus on them instead of the movie or the story itself, and that in itself is an issue. So getting past that, it's like you could say it's an amalgamation of Night of the Living Dead mixed into Dawn of the Dead, but in Zack Snyder's world. He gets right to the point. The zombie apocalypse happens overnight. They don't get into a big, why did this happen, how did this happen? They're just like, okay, this is happening. We're going to have to survive this. So the good point is that the action starts really early in the movie. The camera angles, the camera effects, the cinematography is beautiful. There's a lot of nuances that are brought in from Romero's movies, and for those who are really heavy Romero fans will get it. Like when the truck goes across the road and crashes into the gas station, it blows up. That's paying homage to what happened in the 1968 version of Night of the Living Dead. So it's like, he does touch on the Romero things, but he does make this movie uniquely his own. For a while, I didn't want to see it when it first came out. I was like, oh, come on, it's going to be a rip-off. It's just going to be a rehash. It's not. It has its own story. It has its own characters. It does use certain nuances, like the going back into the shopping mall. But it doesn't just stay there. The shopping mall does take up a good chunk of time in the movie, but it's used differently than Romero's original movie, which was in the 70s. I like the characters in this movie. They're all very different. I wouldn't say there's a static, boring character. Some are like really thoughtful and reflective, and then you got one who's a real wisecracking pain in the butt. And when things go bad for him, you're not going to cry about it. The reason I think anybody should want to watch this movie is a myriad of different reasons. Number one, It's very entertaining. You had a hard day at work. This is the movie. This is the go-to movie. Other reasons are if you like action, you like zombies, you like good special effects, even if you like severe gore, then yeah, this is a go-to movie. This is not a movie that's like something that you would put at a Shakespearean level, but really, are there any zombie movies that are? I would argue there's not. And that's probably the good point about zombie movies is that they're helpful in just releasing energies. You know, you had a tough week, you're like, oh man, it's Friday night, I just want to just chill. Zombie movie, here we go. So that's what this movie really can offer you. In a nutshell, I would give it 5 out of 5 stars based on its entertainment value. The level of acting is really good. I would say that the action is really well paced and very detailed. Like when you see like Ving Rhames shoot the shotgun, the 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 shells come out and hit the ground. You feel like, wow, this is real. This is a real deal. He did not sacrifice any detail when it comes to the action parts. So I gotta say, Zack Snyder really nailed it with this movie. And I would ask movie audiences, people like myself, watch this and don't think of, oh, it's a copycat of Romero's movies. No, it ostensibly is, but he makes it something that's uniquely his own, and that's why I think it was a really enjoyable movie. So, not to give away too much, check out Zack Snyder's version of Dawn of the Dead, and I think you will definitely not be disappointed in any way, shape, or form. All right, well,